Hello, I am Celeste, and it is Saturday, September 13th, and I felt called to do a message today. I've been feeling called to do messages for quite a bit since the eclipse energy has been happening. I'll say I've been going through this spiritual journey for about 5 years, since 2019. I've always felt kind of strange and had a hard time fitting. I don't know, I just felt weird. But anyways, I feel called to do messages now for a collective that maybe feels similar in a way of lost and trying to figure out what their path is in this spiritual journey. So like I said, my name is Celeste, and I'm using the Paulina Tarot because I felt that some tarot and Animalkin Oracle for some messages. I do feel like some messages need to be delivered. We have PN at the bottom of the deck, and then we have Eight of Swords in reverse at the bottom of the deck. So yeah, lost individuals, might I say, but granted the whole thing was upside down. So Eight of Swords energy. Okay, but before we get there, just want to shuffle some things around to cleanse the energy from the previous readings. Cleanse the energy of the previous readings. And I call upon my spirit guides and my guardian angels and the divine powers that be, that guide us and lead us towards our highest good and our greatest divine love. I call upon the kind and loving forces that will guide us to where we need to go to guide this reading for the collective that I have here. Okay, so Three of Cups, celebration, celebratory energy. Okay, what else do we have? Justice. I like this for the collective. Okay, justice. Justice and Three of Cups. That, oh, guys, do you see this? Look at this beauty. Okay, first of all, let's get Miss Justice, Lady Justice in focus, can we? Look at this beautiful, beautiful card. She has a dragonfly on her. She is the embodiment of a dragonfly in a human form, and she has a dragonfly on her chest. And I do notice she has the scales and the swords, which is interesting as we approach Libra season. And I wish I could show you, but she did that little thing right here is a dragonfly, and I don't know, you probably don't see that, but I also am wearing a dragonfly today, extra confirmation. So keep a lookout for the beautiful dragonflies of the world to go ahead and guide you for confirmation. Any other major lessons, okay. Page of Wands. Okay, new beginnings. Alright. Got some fire energy, we got some Libra energy, some water energy. Okay. Eight of Swords in the upright. Alright. So that was at the bottom of the deck. Definitely wanted to come out here. Eight of Swords. We have mental entrapment as well. Okay, I think we can go ahead and get some. Maybe we'll go ahead and do one more card and then do some clarifying cards for these. One more. Did I get one more? Even though that Eight of Swords is pretty, I think that might be Queen of Wands. Interesting. New creative inspiration, new creative projects. Okay, mental entrapment. Okay, I'm dealing with a collective that has that needs some justice, that needs some celebration right now. Okay, strength. Yeah. Okay. Strength. This has been a very prominent card that has been showing up a lot recently. I think a lot of us at the moment, with everything and the energy that is changing, need a lot of spiritual strength at this time. So definitely I feel like this one's almost at the top, because I didn't even... Okay, hold on. Your guides have been seeing the strength you've been putting in, and have been seeing how hard it is. It's hard to keep your spirit strong in this world that is so against, not even against, but in a way, and this is the crystal I'm using as well, to go ahead and clear the energy out. I'll go ahead and put that in the frame there. But a lot of spiritual strength is needed during this time to maintain faith and to maintain a spiritual connection, while the world is... Lovers in reverse. Ooh, okay. While the world continues to deny the importance of spirituality, and I think even in a higher sense deny the importance of empathy, which is a way that we can access spirituality, is empathy. I'm gonna go ahead and take this earring off just in case it's messing with the audio. So I think right now the collective I'm talking to definitely has been going through it, with being maybe lost, maybe feeling like there's not any direct path that you should take, and maybe feeling like, you know, I have all this spiritual energy, I have all these things to celebrate, to bring forth, to put out into the world, to express creatively, something to be celebrated. It should be something to be celebrated, you know. But with the Justice card here, I see that there is a shift towards the celebration of the spirit. But you gotta stay strong during this transition, to hold on to your spiritual strength, to continue to practice empathy and kindness, and do not allow the heaviness of the world to kind of strip that away from you. The Page of Wands, I'm just looking for some basic words to see what this may be in essence to. New perspective, intellectual pursuits, a desire to bring happiness to others. Yeah, okay, this makes sense. So, you know, it's kind of you're doing things very sweetly and with good intentions. I think in any essence, if you're trying to get in touch with your spirit and trying to get in touch with your soul, that it is for the betterment of everyone in general. It's not something that is should be shamed. It's not something that you should feel bad about or strange about. Getting in touch with your soul, getting in touch with your purpose, getting in touch with what makes you feel light, enlightenment, is not it's not an idiotic cause, it's not a waste of time, and it's not, you know, something, but because the heaviness and the stakes of this material world are so intense, it is easy to get lost. I feel this deeply. Okay. Clarification for justice, please. Clarification for justice. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. Interesting. Any more clarification for justice? Any more clarification? Okay. Nine of Wands. And then the Two of Pentacles. Okay. Three of Cups. Clarification for the collective, please. Here we go again. Five of Wands. A lot of conflict. A lot of conflict this collective has been going through. Five of Cups. This is not easy energy to be dealing with right now. So I do want to send my love to this collective. I do want to send a good warm hug, and you know, this definitely makes sense why this is overarched by the Strength card, which has been such a prominent card this season. Granted, we are in eclipse energy, but this message is timeless. I've been getting messages that have been from 10 months ago that have been correlated perfectly to my experience at this time. So just believe that whenever you see this, you're meant to see this. And we all go through these different transitions at different times during different circumstances. So the Justice clarified by Knight of Pentacles in reverse, Nine of Wands upright, Two of Pentacles. That is, and then the Three of Cups. Okay, Three of Cups celebration. Okay, perfect. So, Justice clarified by the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Nine of Wands. Definitely you've been on the defense. You've been trying to juggle everything. Maybe juggle the spirit with the money, with opportunities. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. I'm going to go ahead and just see. Stinginess, financial standstill or loss. Yes. Okay. There's going to be financial justice coming into your life. There's probably going to be an opportunity coming up with the Two of Pentacles, a career opportunity that can help you balance out, you know, this, if you can see these facing together. I'll let you get better clarification on my pictures, but my imagery. Justice, she has the scales, as well as Two of Pentacles having the scales. So in this essence, there's going to be balance restored. It seems like there has been a lot of lack of balance, financial loss, a lot of you literally needing to just get by. Nine of Wands is a very, like, this poor creature is just like hanging on by a thread. That's what I'm hearing. Hanging on by a thread. Hanging on by a thread. You know, it's hard in this world to not have money. At this time, especially. So you could have definitely been hanging on by a thread financially. Hanging on. From what I see here, well, it's clarifying justice. So then this means justice will be restored financially. Two of Pentacles, meaning that you'll have to maybe balance out. You'll have some opportunities that you can gain financial material with, and it's just going to be balancing out that essence. So Two of Pentacles, yeah, Two of Pentacles. Options, financial options, balancing them out. Juggling responsibilities, balancing work and play. So you're gonna have the opportunity to actually get that play in, because I feel like maybe it's just been hardship.Maybe it's just been hard work, not a lot of money. Continue hard work, not a lot of money. Continue hard work, not a lot of money. Pay the bills, pay the rent, pay whoever you need to pay the debt. Work. Not fun, because you can't have fun, because you have to just focus on working. And I feel like this has been what's been keeping our collective and our spirits in such a heavy state, not allowing us to really tap into our soul purpose, because financial burdens are so intense. You know, it's hard to worry about the spirit when you have to worry about dinner, when you have to worry about rent. And I think spirit is going to start blessing this collective with new financial opportunities, and where you can actually balance work and play, and not just work. This was followed by the Three of Cups, the celebratory sign. Okay, look at this. Three of Cups celebration clarified by Five of Wands. Conflict, drama, messiness, just too much. And then Five of Cups, loss, moving on. goodbye. Okay. So looks like you're saying goodbye to the BS. And this honestly makes a lot of sense with the moving on from the financial loss. If you're moving on to stuff that is in alignment with your soul's purpose. So I know, right? What do we do with that? We do our best. So it just means moving on. If you have left a situation, and you probably have, that is just messy, that's been just too much, and it hasn't been a fruitful situation, not worth it, it's just conflict, it drains you, you're always fighting. I feel like you're always fighting, you always have to fight every day, you know, every day is a fight, every day is a struggle, every day is just like one thing after another, and hard to find time to celebrate. And this is, the spirit is saying you need to celebrate, you need to experience joy, you need to apologies, there's a plane and it's flying over the moon right now. I don't know if you can see, the moon is in its half phase. It's quite beautiful, but I'll let that pass real quick. But spirit is saying have fun. You need to have fun because your soul is getting trenched and tarnished and heavy. It's becoming so heavy in the material world. It has become so heavy, but you are moving on from that now. Something has shifted, something has changed. You've either left a situation that has just provided more struggle than it has celebration, and now you can celebrate. Now you're getting into your soul tribe. Now you're finding people that you can, you know, raise a glass with and clink. So justice being restored for this collective. Blessings. Page of Wands. Can I get the Page of Wands clarification? Four of Cups. Offers. Okay, any other? Wow, this collective, this energy is so strong. Seven of Wands. Jeez. Wand energy, intense. There's fire energy for sure. Strength, Leo, Sagittarius, specifically. Lots of fire and water in this. Lots of fire and water in this. So I could be dealing with some fire signs, some water signs, and then Page of Swords. Whoa. Four of Cups, offers coming in, but you're like, meh, no thank you. Seven of Wands, okay, sitting pretty. So this is kind of interesting if we look at all these wand cards, because there's wand cards for each of these clarifying. We have the Nine of Wands, that was clarifying justice, literally hanging on by a thread, fighting for your life. Five of Wands, conflict, it's just conflict. Like, this is just drama, conflict, mess that you're leaving, you're moving on from. And then we have Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is almost, in a way, you're like, I wish you could see the card a little bit better, but in this, maybe you can see it. This little being is smirking on top of, you know, this tree while these wands are beneath her, and she has her little friends that are also smirking, and they're kind of like, like, yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see the pit of swords, or the pit of wands, the pit of stabby things that are poking below me, but I don't really care because I'm like sitting pretty here. Can't hurt me if I'm sitting up here, so can't hurt. So, okay, Spirit has aligned this message in my head. While the wands are either you're fighting them, we have the fighting them, you're constantly fighting them, using your energy to constantly fight that energy. And then we also have the Five of Wands, where it's just, this is just conflict. Like, whether you're in it or not, this is the energy of conflict. So you're no longer there. You see this? The creature is no longer with the wands. It's just like you separated. You could see that that is the drama, the mess, the struggle, the constant stress is an essence that you have to overcome. It's not a part of you, and it's not because of you. It's because you need to separate from it, because it is meant to drag you down. And then in this one, this is exactly what this being has done. The wands cannot bug or irritate or scare or cause turmoil to this creature, because the creature is above the mess, enlightenment, transcended. So you may get people offering, you know, some drama. You may get people that are like, come back here. This is where it was fun. Oh, why don't you ever, like, you never kiki kaka, we don't have our like tea sessions anymore, you know, like, you gotta rise above. Do not engage into messiness. Cut it out. Page of Swords. Be strong with your boundaries of what you're engaging in. It's that's a little difficult to do, easier to say, because I know that if some people are more, but maybe not for this collective, because I feel like you got some fire in you. I feel like you got that fire in you that you can just be like, no, I don't want that. I don't need that. I don't need that extra drama in my life. I don't need that, like, talking smack or anything like that. There's so much stuff that we can dwell on and fixate on right now that is horrible that's going on in the world, that is just, you know, we can just really get into that bitter, stressed out state right now. There's so much potential. There's so much potential that we can engage with darkness right now. And we have to be very clear and strong and assertive with where we choose to put our brain, our mind, and where we choose to speak and what we choose to say. Be wary of getting into spirals of negative energies and engaged with negative energies. Sit above it. If you cannot, you know, we cannot separate. The spiritual journey is not to completely isolate, you know, and go into a cabin and just hang around the birds and the creatures, no matter how much, you know, beauty that might be. We are meant to navigate through this heavy world and still maintain light, and also spread light as light beings, as people that are interested into our spirit, into our enlightenment. You're not meant to completely isolate and go away forever. The enlightenment is meant to be shared, just like this, me sharing my enlightenment. You know, share with those that are willing to accept it, but do not engage with the negativity that is inevitable in this time right now. Yep. That is message. Maintain your spirit, and that will lead you to fruitful opportunities. When rise above, you are sitting pretty. You have already seen the mess of what it's like to engage in this. It doesn't do anything except stress you out and separate and divide us further, and into a period where we are heading towards collective, towards connection. We cannot engage with these spirits of conflict, of separation, and we have so many things to separate and be conflicted about right now. We can find so many things to be irritated and stressed with each other about, but that's not what's going to lead you to your new opportunity. That's not what's going to lead you to that creative purpose. Page of Swords is logical, is direct, is he slices out the BS. That is Page of Swords. Keep slicing out the BS. Keep maintaining. You've already fought for your life. You've already hung on by a thread every single day. You've already left the messiness. You can celebrate, but some offers may be coming in. Of some hot mess express. Deny it. Be like this queen over here. I don't really want to have that. I don't want to engage in that type of behavior. It doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't make me feel better. It's just spreading around the BS. Excuse me, throat chakra. Eight of Swords. Let's see, so we moved from this wand energy to the sword energy. So that might be a bit of a transition. Maybe moving from just action, reacting, and all that stuff into maybe thinking, absorbing, and then acting from what you think is okay. Eight of Swords. Can we get some Eight of Swords clarification? The High Priestess. Yes. Okay, High Priestess. Any other clarification for this collective? Okay, guys. This one flew on the flow. Let's see. Seven of Pentacles. Okay, you got some options. Maybe too many options, making you feel a little bit stressed. What do I do? Oh gosh, there's too much I should be doing. That's what I'm getting. From you guys. Any other clarification for the Eight of Swords? Any other clarification? I get some. Okay, if that one wants to come out, I like to wait until the cards come out. That's just how I like to do it. Any other clarification? Because sometimes I feel like 6 of Pentacles there. 6, 7, 7, 6. 7, 6. 7, 6. Whoa, wow. Okay, so we just moved from wand energy to kind of like this emotional, reflection phase that, you're kind of coming out of. And now we're hitting a phase that you've got options, honey. Options. And it's a low-key stressing you out. Okay. Any other clarification? For the okay, this is very interesting. Okay, let's put this here. This was a lot. I don't know why I kept pulling cards for this one. I guess any swords energy I like the most clarification, or when it's any overthinking, trapped energy. Wow. So not only do we have the High Priestess and the Emperor, then we have the King of Wands, which I do feel like is the conclusion, because the next card that popped out for the original reading was the Queen of Wands. So let's get into this. So Eight of Swords. I can see why you would be feeling pretty, you're like, okay, we got it where you moved out, you moved out of that conflict phase. If you haven't, then you need to. You moved out of the mess, you moved out of the drama. You're denying it at the point you're actively like rejecting stressful, unaligned proposals. You're actively rejecting it, and that's good. You've got your boundaries, you've got those, you got your directness, what you want. But somehow after it, maybe we're a little bit lost, but we cause it ourselves. The Eight of Swords is the self-entrapment, is the save me, please, someone save me. But you don't need to be saved. What the heck? We got Emperor energy, we got High Priestess energy, and then we got King of Wands energy, bro. Person, if you don't save yourself, you better use those talents. Okay, let's see. Because not only all these pentacle energies, okay, so not only abundance, hello, pentacles. Let's just get with the 7 pentacle energy right now. So you are in This is this is the intuition that you have for the opportunities that are coming your way. You got to tap in with yourself. If you're if you're listening to these messages, good. Keep doing that. Keep looking for messages. Keep, the dream world. See what your dreams are doing. See where your mind wanders when it's silent, and then you kind of go there. Where does it go? And while these opportunities are coming in, we do have, financial opportunities coming in. I'd say do something that kind of makes you feel the best way to access, when you have lots of opportunities coming in and you get kind of overwhelmed with it because you don't know which way to go. The Six of Pentacles here is saying, tap into what childhood you always dreamt about. I know it's so cliche, but it's true. Like, when you're a kid, you're so close to the spiritual realm. Like, you were just in that great connection, and then you get birthed into the world and are now this individual being. So lots of times when we look back in our childhood, even though we all have our own, some people have great childhood, some people didn't, but you as a child were great. I'll tell you that now. You as a child were great, and I'm sure you as a child had fantastic ideas of what they wanted to do and what brought them joy. And I think if you're lost right now, kind of reflect into what childhood you was interested in and why, and really dig into there, because you got a new financial opportunity coming in. Page of Pentacles. Okay, new financial beginnings. Exciting. It's fun, and I want you to be excited about it. I don't want you to be stressed about it. Spirit doesn't want you to be stressed about it. You're very overwhelmed. Don't be overwhelmed. It's supposed to be fun. This is a very stressed out collective. This is a collective that does not know, that needs to get more involved with the joy of the messiness and the confusion of life. Okay, like, as long as you keep going into what is, that bringing you joy, what kind of like makes you smile when you think about it, follow that. Don't worry about all the other issues that come along with following that. I feel like that's what this collective does. It's very like, but if I do this, then I gotta make sure that this is done, and I gotta make sure that this is done correct. I gotta make sure that, like, these things are done. Hard to just follow joy. I feel like there's always like joy and then along, with stress. So we're trying to separate so that you can just experience joy and not have all the baggage of all the stress, because that's the material world. Which is hard to deny. Granted, I understand this, but that's the goal. Then we have it followed by the Emperor and the King of Wands. Talk about, okay, no matter if you are feminine or masculine, this is like, okay, this is king energy. This is like, I am building. I am Emperor. Emperor is the ultimate King of Kings. This is like, you, honey, talk about once you get these opportunities and you follow towards that path of like what brought you your childhood joy, you're gonna be like, that whole feeling of like always fighting, of always like shaking anything can kind of like break you down because you're hanging on by a thread. That energy is gone. This is the Emperor that can that has kingdom, that has he can't be kicked out, he can't be thrown off because he's the king. This is his realm, and everyone else is just in it. So you need to find your realm and be the emperor of your realm. Okay, stop letting everyone else kind of dictate what your mood and what your state's going to be at, because that is stressful. Allowing other people to have that influence on your day-to-day and what your life is it's stressful. This is all about asserting yourself. This is all about like being like, yes, this is what I do. Yes, this is how I do it. Yes, this is how I get my money. Yes, this is what I'm doing. I don't care what you have to say. I don't care what drama you bring in. It has no effect, because this is my empire and I'm the emperor. So I don't care what other influences have to say about what my empire is and how I'm being the emperor. This is like, I built this brick by brick, okay? You can't take it down. King of Wands, talk about that. That's like that fire king too. That's an extra smug, okay? That's that mess with me. That's that don't play with me. King of Wands, that's he's got that fire in him, okay? So he is not about to play. And oh my god, I hope you can see this. That right there is a lion in his throne. Okay, lion, Leo energy, Sagittarius energy, Aries energy, okay? And if you don't have it, I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't have that, but you need to tap into it, okay? So maybe hang around some people that embody those Leo, Aries, Sagittarius characteristics and see how they operate, because I'll tell you, they'll teach you a lot, okay? They'll teach you a lot about confidence. They'll teach you a lot about like, and what's your issue? Play with me. Let's see. You kind of need that. You've been in a spot where you're literally fighting for your life, where this drama was so influential into your life, and you were just always putting out fires. And now you have like so many opportunities. It's almost overwhelming. But just lock into your intuition. You know, like, you are an intuitive. High Priestess is the most intuitive. So I already know that, but this makes sense because you're watching these videos, so I know you're intuitive. And go back to your childhood joys. There's going to be an offer that is just like ding, that is in alignment with all of it, with your childhood joys. It sparks that thing in you. Just follow that. Stop worrying about all the logistics of it and the drama of it. If it makes you happy, if you smile when you hear about it, follow it, please, because you're going to be the emperor. You're going to be the King of Wands. And the next card, okay, Queen of Wands. And I'm excited to see what is clarifying this Queen of Wands over here. Okay, clarification for Queen of Wands, please. What's down here? Queen of Cups. Clarification for Queen of Wands. Any Ace of Swords. Okay, yes, I love this conclusion. What a journey this collective has been on. I'll just say this. Looking forward, this is what's coming in. Because I think this is what you're in currently, is this Eight of Swords. You're maybe confused right now because you do the options that are full. You have too many. You're like, okay, I get it, like, but now where do I go? Okay, so from what I said, follow that childhood intuition. Okay, I think this is good for this collective. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Okay, let's just say this. Knight of Cups and Four of Wands, Queen of Wands. So sometimes when I use the same deck, what I feel like when Spirit does, you know, like a king and queen of the same thing, it's like, okay, this is the conclusion for this period. Once you lock in and tap in and get into that energy, that King of Wands, because the Emperor is the builder. You know, the Emperor is confident. It's the archetype of just complete confidence. This is Billy. Say hi. If you wanted to say hi. But black cats may be significant, because I don't know why he just walked in right here. He like came up, he was like, hello. King of Wands. Okay, once you hit that where you're like confident in your endeavors, when you are in like no one can take you the opposite direction because you feel so like strong and confident and proud of what you do. Queen of Wands energy, creative goddess, creative queen, creative. She's like, you give her an experience, she'll spin it into a beautiful existence that can be expressed and absorbed by the collective. So once you hit that Queen of Wands energy and the Queen of Cups, this makes me so happy for you, because this is an energy that you needed to have the balance of your creativity, your young soul spirit, as well as your emotional fulfillment. This collective has been through it. I will not deny that. It just with so much nonsense, so much stress, so much like that energy is just like, ugh, like just get me out, please. And you got out. And maybe you're in the spot where you're trying to figure out what to do next with all this, with this new freedom of peace of mind. But once you get there, let me tell you, once you like really go into what, you know, brings you that childlike joy, the Queen of Wands and Queen of Cups is fantastic energy. It's balance of fire and water. Is the, you know, you have all these experiences that maybe come to you, but you like transmute them into creative expression. I have a creative group here. It makes me happy. I'm excited to see what you guys create. Because Queen of Wands is creative expression. She is the fire energy of creation. She's all about that. And she goes into things with fire, with enthusiasm, with passion. So even if it's not creative outputs or anything like that, like if you just go into it with this passion and enthusiasm, I keep getting lust for life. This is lust for life. You have a lust for life. I listened to that song. That, I don't know, that just kept popping in my head. Lust for Life by Lana Del Rey. Listen to it. This is kind of giving lust for life energy. Like every day you're like, oh, what do I have? Like, what can I do today? Like, oh, another day to be alive. And then Ace of Swords, talk about like doing in like mental downloads and like strong, clear-cut, you know, direction and clear-cut communication. And that's Ace of Swords. The ace is like the ultimate. So all of these cards are amazing, like all of them. It's victory. Like this is another victory card. This is like, ooh, I like this for you. I love this. Knight of Cups is interesting. You might get some, like, once you're out in your actually, paired by the Four of Wands. Wow. So once you're in that flow state where you this is how you know you're in this energy, because you wake up and you feel a lust for life. You feel like it's victory. It's like, yeah, like let me, I am the victor, of my life. I've won, I've overcome, I've done things. Now I'm just excited to live and see what life has to offer me, because you're not afraid and you're not consumed by the stressors of everyday life. We got a Knight of Cups. That's always, you know, okay, maybe a romantic opportunity coming in, but paired by the Four of Wands. I love that. That's happily ever after. So when you can't force it, you know, you can't be like, tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and be like, lust for life. You know, it's a true feeling. You'll know it because you know yourself. You know when you're in a stressed mindset. You know how it was to be there, and you know how it is to be out of it. Now you're trying to figure out what to do with this new freedom. Once you are in that spot where you like every day you're waking up, doesn't matter if you're single or not, but Knight of Cups is usually romantic opportunities, romantic offers coming in. If it's not, if you're already in a relationship, it could be maybe the next step, maybe a proposal from your lover, or maybe someone you love has an offer coming in. But either way, that offer looks like it's good. It's 4 of Wands. I love it. So I actually want to do this for my thumbnail because I love the queens. I just need them to like, these are so beautiful. So strength. And if you're in any phases of this journey, if you're in the spot where you are fighting for your life, or if you're in the spot where, you know, you've just left a stressful, dramatic situation and now you're celebrating, you can see what energy is coming in, and it's good. Though it may be, you might get confused sometimes. Just keep clear intentions, keep direct. I keep saying cleep. What the heck? Just keep that childlike joy, as you guys need to focus on your childlike joy and stop focusing so much on all the stressors, because that has held you down. What the heck? Wolf. I've never got this card before. So we got 13. It's September 13th, and we have the wolf card for connection. Okay, you guys are definitely connecting. Like, you're getting into either your soul tribe or your people. Okay, okay, hold on, Spirit, please. Can I get some more? Any other animal kin oracle deck, or should we just end it with the wolf and a horse? I have never gotten these cards before, so this is how I know it's for you guys. For sure. A wolf and a horse. Connection. Wolf. It's an earth energy. Kin essence. Look to your community to see what connects you to your power. Okay. Yes, maybe that should help you if you're in any of these phases and you're lost. Look to your soul tribe. I kept saying that. Soul tribe, soul tribe, soul tribe. Okay. The wolf reminds us of the importance of our connections with family and friends. They are territorial animals that will fiercely defend their homes and hunting zones from other wolves. Defend it, okay? Defending. We can learn from the wolf how to channel loyalty, dedication, protectiveness, and selflessness in our conduct with loved ones. Wolves are often depicted as loners. However, in reality, they simply have a strong sense of who they are. A strong sense of who they are as individuals, as well as the roles they are playing in their community. These qualities make them stand out as strong, powerful entities and predators they are. Wolves are generally monogamous and partner for life, rearing children together into adulthood. They work together to hunt and use their haunting howl to assemble their pack and to warn each other of danger at their den. Wolves are incredibly adaptable to changes in the environment and climate and can withstand temperatures of up to -40 degrees. This shows us that when you're connected to your own source of energy, you are protected from often extreme external circumstances. Thank you, Spirit. Is that not what I was saying? Lock into what brings you joy. Childhood, if you got good relationships with your family, hang out with your family. If you got relationships with like community, if you anything like that, hang out with them. Take time to understand what you bring and what brings you joy. You've been overwhelmed by external forces, and you need to clear that out and lock in, because you yourself are a powerful, beautiful being that just, it makes me sad to think that your soul has went through this, so much turmoil, so much stress, and you had lost touch with it. And then motivation, horse, Sagittarius. Hello, am I talking to Sagittarius here? Because you're popping out. This is Sagittarius energy. Okay, or it could be the collective I'm dealing with, that is Pluto and Sagittarius. We have a large generation that was that, so I would check your birth chart out and see if maybe your Pluto's in Sagittarius, because that is a big generation. Okay, horse motivation. Kin essence. Taking action is often the only way we can truly motivate ourselves and others. Yes, this is very action energy. We had lots of wands, lots of fire in here. Humans have a relationship with horses that conjures feelings of freedom, devotion, and passion within us all. Despite their immense strength and power, horses are vegetarians and feed on grass, grains, and seeds, thus showing us the physical vitality and strength that we can gain by eating natural, plant-based foods. Okay. Even though horses are capable of incredible physical feats, it is rarely necessary for them to do so, meaning that they choose their moments to use their power with specific intention and purpose. That's that sword energy I was talking about. You have all this power, this fire, this soul, and you use it. Direct it, and then use it, because then that's when you can make the most out of it. Specific intention and purpose. Specific intention and purpose. Specific intention and purpose. Remember that. The horse's only natural defense against predators is to run, to move. To run, to move, to get out. To get out. Okay? Sometimes you do gotta run away. Sometimes you gotta leave. I'm gonna bye-bye. Horses naturally, they help us to channel our own drive, passion, motivation to get moving toward our goals. Horses naturally become more confident learning and growing through positive experiences. The horse can teach us that in times of uncertainty, we must use our negative experiences to give us that little nudge from behind in order to move forward into the right direction. That when we are no longer feeling fulfilled by our surrounding, it is an indication that we have been standing still for too long and it is time to move forward. Okay. Eight of Swords. In life, we can see that sometimes we must decide whether to be the workhorse or the show pony and be at peace with the fact that we might be both. We are reminded to see that putting in the legwork will allow us the opportunity to pursue greener pastures at the end, and to stop long enough to show the world what we have learned in our travels. Okay, I think that's your message for today. Thank you, guys.